Oh, man. That Jersey Beach tan is really...
Tell me more. just a little more about my tan. It's so beautiful, isn't it?
You're just golden, shimmery.
Splendid. Yeah. Are
you ready for this? Are you ready for this action?
Yeah.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters. Sisters who've seen it.
Welcome back!
Welcome! You
boy.
came back!
We're back!
You came back!
We're all back.
With this title, you came back.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I mean, I said it last time.
Oof.
This is an intense pick.
Yeah.
Wow.
Scary.
Wow. Even Mom was like, ew, why did you pick that? Because it's a scary movie? I don't know.
Well, I knew you felt neglected in your scary movie genre, and I get stressed.
It's a calorie burner.
It's like it's a workout.
Yep.
It's a workout watching
There's
these
been
things.
studies about that for horror movies, that it like burns calories when you watch a
Oh,
really
yeah?
scary one. Yeah.
I believe it. Heart rate's up.
Yeah.
Oh no.
All right. So we'll talk more about that. But let's introduce ourselves. So we are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where two sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
Now, let's burn some calories. That would be pretty awesome if I could just sit on a couch and burn calories, but I don't think it works that way, you know.
That'd be a lot of scary movies.
Yeah. But I don't know, like, different people are afraid of different things, right? So
True.
Not everyone is going to be afraid of the same scary movies.
I kind of picked this one because I thought I could handle it better than the jumpy scary movies.
Yeah. There was some jumpies, though.
There
So I was like, I guess you didn't remember that part.
I did not remember that part, and I was like, but I liked here's a clue, and then we got this, and now we're gonna go on to the next thing, and you felt like it was kind of like your video game leveling up for them to like get out, and that was fun. And with the parallel stories going on was also interesting.
I mean, it's like an escape room, except you could
Yeah!
die.
Oh my god, it's the escape room!
Yeah.
That's it! That's the movie.
Yeah, it's the original, because then they made another scary movie, like, kind of recently, where it was literally called Escape Room, that was about an escape room that kills you. Yeah.
Well, 2004 saw, I'm gonna say Napoleon Dynamite, exploded.
Yeah.
With no budget.
Yes, which you can kind of tell to some degree, but...
Absolutely can tell. These low-tech device scary contraptions and just in one room for most of the movie. And I think the numbers I found, it was $1 million to shoot in something like 16 or 18 days.
Wow.
And it made $100 million.
Jesus Christ, people.
Hence the franchise, hence the explosion of everyone trying to do a Saw-like movie.
Well, because it was almost like the low budget, you could tell, because you hear a movie like this, you hear the concept, you go in, you think, oh snap, it's going to be gross. And like, it is, but you really don't see a lot of gross, which I think is because they just couldn't afford the effects. Because there's like 1 billion sequels, and those are gross.
Those are
like,
gross.
I don't like that. But I feel like up until when this movie came out, a lot of the horror movies were stemmed around like slashers. It was like the teen slashers and Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer and just like a lot of things like that. So I don't think there was a movie where it was kind of the scary thing was the gore, if you will, even though again there really wasn't think it was just the concept of, like, torture, you know?
Yeah. I read that they put this in a category called torture porn.
No, yeah. Like, Hostel? Ooh. Ugh.
Yes!
Disgusting.
Totally.
It's not even a story. You're like, what? I don't understand. Am I supposed to enjoy this, or should I go to jail? I don't know.
I don't see those things. This is why I feel like I'm happier.
Wait, so did you watch Saw when it...
I watched it.
No, I know this time you did, but like...
Oh, I swear, I watched it. I swear.
believe you. I know. I can always fact check with Mo's, just in case, if I don't believe you.
I did not see this when this came out. I probably was at some person's house and somebody put on like one of the sequels and I just happened to watch it. But I appreciated the psychological thriller aspect of it. Yeah. I think that's interesting.
Well, when I first saw this, which I think was... I didn't see it in theaters, but it was like when it came out on video, like right when it came out, I watched it with a bunch of people. So
you were young,
it was like the same thing. Yeah, it was like...
You were like middle school.
Yeah. And the parts that I remember were... I remember being like, oh, there's like actually a story and it's not just... to the phrase that you said before, torture porn, because there's somewhat of a plot. They kind of, in my opinion, lose that later on in the series.
Yes, But
then all I remember were, like, the popping out parts, which only happens, like, 2 times, maybe. And then I remember the ending, because I do actually like...
I loved the ending.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. So I was excited at the end. I thought, I was like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, this is cool. I dig this ending. This was worth it.
And it made up for some parts that, to me, I was like, who thought that was a good idea? Let me know. So did you know that the one, I'm going to use big quotation marks, actor, because I would very happily debate him being an actor. The one guy, Adam, he was one of the writers.
I did know that, and what is his name?
I don't know.
It's like Winland. I'll look it up. Keep talking.
But yeah, he wasn't a great actor.
So I thought he got better as the movie went on. He was... Oh, okay, here we go. Lee Winnell.
I don't know.
How you say his name? Well, I think that's who you're talking about.
Okay.
The first scene, I kept thinking, okay, like, chill out. That's like a lot.
That's literally what I wrote. It's like,
oh my gosh.
Calm down.
And then as time went on, I kind of dug his style, and I thought he was a good balance, and I thought he did really well at the end.
Yeah.
But, Kate, we forgot to do the synopsis and say the movie.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, you kind of said the movie, but...
The movie is Saw.
Bzz. Oh, it's not that kind of Saw, though.
2004, the first one out of 8.
Ugh, and there'll be more, you know. I kind of feel like the sequels, they're almost like... Do you remember in high school when you had to do picture prompts?
No, what is that?
What? You never did that? Where you'd get a picture and then they'd be like, now you have to make up like a story about this.
Oh.
You never had that?
I don't think I did.
What the heck?
I don't know. Were you on yearbook or something?
Bridget, it was like for English class. What? Well, anyway, that's what it was. And I feel like the sequels are basically like picture prompt essays to the first movie because they're kind of like, we don't really know what to do, so we're just gonna keep doing random stuff. And most of it is like made up backstory that you're kind of like, did I ask for this? I don't want that.
Is it the same kind of like moral judgment on...
Yeah, it's like,
okay.
It's annoying. And they keep trying to like explain things and you're like, but like I don't like need that explained. Thus the picture prompt where you're like, did you have to write about that bush? Or like, could we just have been like, it's a bush in the photo? Like you need to give it like a wife and children and stuff. Anyway. Yeah.
Okay, but you should do the synopsis. I did pick it for you, although I'm kind of concerned you didn't love it as much as I thought you would.
I mean, there's parts I did like,
oopsies.
But you could just tell it was low budget.
Okay,
so this movie is a horror movie. And kind of like what you said, I guess it is like a psychological thriller. But basically you start off and nobody knows what's happening and it's very dark. And you come to find that there are 2 men who are chained in a room. And it's a gross bathroom, I think.
Yeah.
something. There's
It's a
tiles and a
bathroom.
toilet and a tub. So sure, we're gonna say it's a bathroom.
Sure.
And you don't really know what's happening, and they don't know what's happening, and nobody knows what's happening, and everybody's confused. And then you find out that the two guys were purposefully put there, and they're given very, like, cryptic messages on why they're there and what they have to do to get out. And one guy is told he has to kill the other guy before a certain time to get out. And again, they don't know what's happening and stuff like that. So it's kind of, like, drawn out over that. And then you get a bunch of flashbacks where the two guys are kind of, by talking and remembering, they're kind of trying to figure out, like, who this could be. And one of the guys is like, I know who this is. It's that jigsaw killer that I read about in the news, and the police thought it was me. And, and then you kind of find out that, like, this killer, his MO is to basically put people in these torture traps where they have to get hurt if they want to survive, in quotation marks. Because again, I took issue with some of these rewatching it. So it's not like you can just, like, solve a 1,000-piece puzzle and get out. Man, although that's hard to do.
No, it was not. Now that you say the plot, it was not an escape room. My God.
No, there's a lot more. And so it's kind of just that. And then, there's the one guy's, like, family is in danger, and he finds that out, and then that kind of raises the stakes. And then it's really just this whole build up to the end to see how or if they're gonna get out. And spoiler alert, they both basically die. They don't show the one guy dying, but he did. Pretty much everyone dies in these movies. So if you like a character, say bye, because they're going to be murdered eventually. And that's the moral of the story. Life is meaningless.
This plot synopsis was torture for you.
That was my puzzle, and I don't know if I made it.
Wow. Katie's like, no siree, Jigsaw. I'm not buying it.
There were parts that I liked, and there was certain, like, cinematography choices that I liked, but I guess I just got really stuck on, like, the acting and the believability of some parts. So I guess maybe the writing and the direction kind of pulled me out of it.
I want to hear all about this.
Where, again, like, when you're younger, like, I don't care about those things. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like, ugh, Adam, like, he's such a bad actor. But, like, now that I'm older, I'm like, I don't want to care about you. And I know I'm supposed to, but I, like, don't want to. Because you're just so annoying. Ugh.
Oh, man.
I don't know. How would you summarize it?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, you touched on all the points. I would, too. I would probably start more with this murderer. And I would talk about how, he's kind of unmasked the whole time. And you don't really know who it is. And there's this very creepy mask robot thing.
The puppet?
And
is that what you mean?
The puppet.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And part of his whole emotive murder people is the fact that he believes people don't appreciate their lives and they're selfish and all of these kind of moral compass elements. And your face looks very mad. Do you want to interject?
Nope. I'll hold it. I'll hold it in.
And so he has decided himself this, moral, like the Zorro of horror movies at this point, and is going to put people in their place in these scenarios that torture them so that they can appreciate life. And sometimes they don't make it out, and sometimes they do. And these two men in this, you're right, weird bathroom public space that was very dirty and very gross are working together to figure out why they're in there and how they can get out alive. And it's all about, what are you willing to do to survive? It had a lot of other backstory, and yes, it probably could have been like 20 minutes shorter. But I did get pretty jazzed at the end. I thought,
I do like the end.
Cool, man. I was like, like at the end, I was like, yeah! But the rest of it, I was like, I think because we're also doing this podcast, I was like trying to keep up with the notes, and I was like, so wait, Adam's a lawyer? Oh wait, no, he said voyeur. And okay, this guy's a doctor, he's a surgeon. Oh wait, is he cheating? Like, there is some complicated plot details that to your point on the, what did you call it? A picture?
It's like a picture prompt.
A picture prompt. You're kind of like, Why do we need all of that? And Danny Glover. Woo!
Which I totally forgot he was in this. What a gem.
Danny Glover trying to save the day as the cop.
Well, but he was also, like, the cliche obsessed cop. Where I was like, what? I don't... Like, not every police force has an obsessed cop that's, like, living in a bunker. I don't know why this is a thing in movies and that. Whatever.
Danny Glover and every character didn't have a good ending.
No, that's what I mean. Like, nothing. The only people that got away okay was the mom and the daughter.
Well, and the murderer.
Yeah.
Well, I look at this movie like it's from the murderer's perspective. It's not a movie where you're like, let's get him, let's kill the murderer. It's like the murderer is in charge and they're smarter than you and they're 3 steps ahead of you and you just hope you get some luck.
Yeah.
I'm still not doing my plot. I think I've ended my plot,
sorry.
but I
thought
just
you were
keep
done.
talking.
I'm so sorry.
No, I'm way done, but I
Okay.
realize I keep talking as if it's still the plot, and I'm just going to stop myself because I don't know what that I'm saying.
Well, but to your point, I think that was like another reason why this is such a scary concept. Aside from obviously the whole, putting people in torture chambers, was just like the police, they just couldn't catch him, I guess. Like he thought of everything, if you will, although they could have caught him in one scene. And yeah.
Yeah. The first scene kind of gets you going.
Well, because, like I said, like, nobody knows what's happening, and, neither do the characters, so fine. But I wrote, this is just, I kind of already said it, but I wrote, OMG, the photographer guy is so annoying, and then I go, LMAO, he's so annoying, Cary Elwes literally goes, shh.
What?
Because he was so annoying. He was just like, shh, quiet. Like, stop being annoying.
I thought you were going to say something.
No, like, that's literally what Cary Elwes' character, who, by the way, I know his name is Lawrence, but I'm just going to keep calling him Cary Elwes because...
we can call him whatever you want. I did write, it's Cary Elwes. And I was like, I forgot he was in this.
But it's like, their personalities are just so different in the beginning. Where
Oh
Adam's
my god,
freaking
I know.
out, and Carrie's like, can you just, like, shut up? We're trying to chill here. Trying to sit on this dusty floor in the dark. Calm down.
I mean, okay, alright, I'm gonna have to defend Adam a little bit, so I didn't know how bad she didn't like him. But he was drowning in a bathtub of water.
Yeah, that I didn't
woke up
get.
trying to breathe, and you don't expect him to freak out?
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
It's just, I didn't like his acting of freaking out, because it was like...
He was a little much.
It was like too much. I was like, alright. But also, it's like, you wake up, I get it, like, you'd be like really panicked, but then you see there's a dead guy in the room. Nobody reacts to that. They're just like, well, that's something you don't see every day. Anyway, I was like, guys, there's a dead dude.
I thought the same thing. I thought,
screaming.
There's a dead dude, there's a gun, there's blood everywhere, and it had this, like, appearance that the person had been there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the blood could have almost been dried. It had that kind of vibe to it.
It was that gross.
But the movie did, because obviously of the, like, surprise ending, it did a good job of actually ignoring that.
Yeah. That's true.
Because I was like, oh, that's a dead guy too. Moving on. What's our clue? How are we gonna get out? What's happened now?
That is true, because they really didn't, like, of all the things that they talked about, they never once were like, who is this man? Like, do either of us know them? They didn't even, you're right. That's interesting. All right, so maybe that was a good writing choice.
But isn't that, like, an element of their, like, selfishness?
Well, probably.
Like, they don't even care about the dead guy, and they don't even care about his life, and...
I guess, I mean...
I don't even know, I'm gonna get deep.
I don't know if that was the point of that.
I don't think it was the point.
Like, if they were like, oh, this poor guy, then he was like, you know what, I'm alive, guys, and I'm really proud of you for wondering about me. Let's all go to TGI Fridays and talk it out.
But what if that's the Saw everyone needed, Katie? That's the 2020 Saw. It's like, you know what? I thought you guys were gonna ignore me like selfish prick, but you turned it around, and you know what? What'd you say? TGI Fridays. Let's get some half-price appetizers after 10. Do they still do that?
Oh, God. Yeah.
Okay, I did find in the beginning Cary Elwes' character a little annoying because I know Adam was a lot. He's like, somebody took my kidneys. Oh, what do I do? What they did? And he's like, relax. I almost wanted to be like, can you let Adam get a little freaked out? He's chained. He was drowning. He doesn't remember anything. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's like, look, a brand new clock. Someone wanted us to know the time.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, come on.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Is that what you're going to think about when you're like chained to a wall? No.
I wonder,
you're not
though,
think
if
about
the
that.
thought behind that was because he did know of the jigsaw person. And so I wonder if he was like thinking
Yes.
and then trying to figure out like, oh, maybe that's like a clue. I don't know. Not that it was good. Because you're right. He was like a little too... They were polar opposites. I got Cuckoo Bananas, and then I got like the one guy on Quaaludes. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
And the dead guy was just there. He was the only normal one, let's be honest.
But the other thing is, like, I did write, very dramatic Adam. But then he goes into this, like, whoever brought us here didn't kill us.
Mm-hmm.
They must want something. The question is what? And I just kept thinking, is this how you talk in real life? You know, are you like, today's coffee tastes a little watery. Is it the mug or is it the beans? You know, it's like, calm down, Lawrence.
You know what added to the unintentional hysterical part of his character was the whole time pre-cutting off his foot, he straight up looked like he was wearing stage makeup. I was like, and I wrote a couple notes being like, all right, it's definitely not me. Like, there's eyeliner.
Yes.
I don't know what's happening.
Yes.
Like, there's a lot of things going on. Did he come from, like, play production? What's the 411? It was very dramatic.
And I did read that he was mad at the writers or the movie production company, whatever, because Cary Elwes thought he was getting a portion of the profits.
Oh.
And took a bad salary because of that. And went into court battles because he didn't. And I don't know how it ended up. But that is the reason why he is not in any of the other Saws except for the last one.
That's interesting. That's pretty shifty. I don't like that.
But like his stage makeup and I mean he kind of was their starring role.
Well, yeah,
like,
I mean,
come on, Saw. Like, are you joking? Give some credit back.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows him from something. And then the only other one was really Danny Glover, and everyone else I was like, I don't...
Yeah. I honestly... All of my notes, as I'm looking through it, the first hour, I thought the video of so the recording tape where it was like, "Hello, Adam, welcome to the day you die," which was pretty scary, actually.
Creepy voice.
I thought he called him a lawyer. And I kept thinking, like, wow, Adam's a lawyer. Is that why he lies a lot? He's a lawyer. He lies. He's a lawyer. He lies. And then only later in the movie was I like, oh, a voyeur. He takes pictures. And I kept thinking, like, what kind of law does he practice? And, like, how does this connect? And I'm like, does he do a side business of photography? Like, I have lawyer written everywhere. And I finally got it. And I thought, oh my. And I was like, why does he have a crappy apartment? He's a lawyer.
Wait, so you just thought he was put in this because he was a lawyer and that's it? Like, there was...
Well, I thought on the video tape, it was like, Adam, every day you're a lawyer. But he said voyeur. And I was like, man, why? What kind of law does he? What did he do wrong? And I had this wrong for so much of my notes. Yeah.
I wrote for that part, I was like... Jigsaw's speech tape to Adam basically tells him nothing, and then Adam goes, I don't get it. And I go, me either.
Okay, we do have to talk about Adam got screwed.
There was no relevant clues for him. And
giant plot hole.
And you're right. Well, you know what's funny, though? In later movies, they try to explain why... the key went down the drain and why he wasn't given a chance.
Up.
I was like, you know,
get out of here.
That's what I mean. Picture prompts, like a bad freshman year picture prompt. Somebody felt the need to write about that later on. I don't know. But I kind of felt like that was some of the other traps. Like the barbed wire one. I'm sorry. Who the heck's gonna survive that? Let me know. Because even if somebody tries to, kind of like how that guy did, like he tried to, and like you kind of set it up where like, well, if you try, then like it'll work. But like it didn't work. So what does that mean? What did we learn? I don't understand. Or the guy who was in the like, where, well, there were so many warehouses.
Yes.
Where it was like his office, like the scary office, and they find the guy and there's the drills. I was like,
yes.
Well, how does he get out? Oh, he doesn't? He's okay.
I think they described him as a test subject.
Okay, but that's called murder. So I don't want to hear this whole, I don't murder people, because you murder people. I don't want to hear it.
Okay. I didn't get that either. I didn't get that whole, like, well, he actually never murders people.
I'm like, he actually does, so...
Well, and legally, if we were going to get specific, he'd be going to jail.
Oh, yeah. Just Charles Manson. That's what he did. He didn't murder anyone. He in jail
yeah,
for life.
he would absolutely be going to jail. But I do feel like with Adam's plot, it was like, okay, so somebody, which we learn later, Danny Glover, hires you to take pictures of Cary Elwes cheating on his wife or attempting to or whatever.
I don't even know if he really did. That was confusing too.
I don't know if he really did either, and I kept thinking, like, this is weird. And, like, is that really, like, you don't have a lot of money, right? His apartment was bad. He talked about how he was just kind of, like, trying to survive. And, like, is that really, like, that morally bad of a life that he deserves to, like, die in this Saw scenario where Dr. Gordon, Cary Elwes, whatever, he kind of was like, okay, you might be cheating on your wife, you don't give a shit about your patients. You kind of got this, like, air of, like, I'm above you all, and you got a little bit of, like, okay, I can kind of believe your backstory, because he was rude to the wife, right, and he didn't care about the kid, and he didn't want to hang out with them, and, like, you kind of believed that, but Adam, I felt like, kind of got screwed, and like, he was one of the co-writers, so, like, wouldn't you, like, help your character out, bro, or did nobody want to play it?
That's what I mean with the writing. I'm like, you guys have it's a pretty decent idea, because, again, it's Hadn't been done before, but it just could have been done better, and I don't think it was. Or even the guy where he's like, you cut your wrists, so now I'm gonna try to kill you, and you're like, wait, so now we're gonna punish sad people? I don't understand. Like, what? I don't get it.
No, it didn't age well.
Or even the girl who was like drug addict. I'm like, this is just you're not doing this to criminals, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like he was like, you literally murdered someone, although again in later sequels that comes up, but in this one it was everyone who just only kind of maybe did not great things, but not like illegal or horrific.
Yes.
What's the message? Also, why are you cutting up people's skin? That's gross.
Oh, with the little jigsaw puzzle?
It's gross. That's what a serial killer does. You're a serial killer.
It was very Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah. Well, we know how that ended.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you know where they got this idea from?
An escape room. No, I don't.
Lee Winnell, if I'm saying that right.
Who was Adam?
He used to suffer from migraines.
Okay.
Due to stress and unhappiness of working at a dead-end job.
Okay.
That he started to question himself and say, like, am I gonna die? Is something wrong with me? Like, what's wrong with me? And then he would ask the question of, what if I only had 2 minutes to live? Or what if I only had 2 years to live? That's what inspired this whole, like, could you live with suffering and time? Which is, like, a very big leap. But if you Google it, there's a lot about that migraine story, which I am still like, what?
Okay.
I had to add that in.
Having trouble with that picture prompt. I would give it a C+, personally. Not sure. I don't know.
Oh my god. But yeah, there's 2 exclamation points for characters. One is Cary Elwes. I'm just gonna call him Dr. Gordon because I'm in trouble. The other is Danny Glover. I wrote that in here, and oh god, you know how every movie I was like, "There's one Bob scene."
No, which one?
Oh, your point on the barbed wire guy, and all of the detectives are there, and the one female detective, where she's like, "Look, a peephole. Jigsaw likes to take a front row to his sick games. And I don't know if you, like, paid attention, but the way she said her lines was so bizarre. It was like a robot saying them, and I just kept thinking, like, why can't you talk like a human? And it was very awkward.
So, bad acting. Again.
Yeah,
turns its
kind
ugly
of.
head. I thought you were gonna say the weird scene was where Danny Glover, being the obsessed cop, is like working late, and then his cop friends are like, we're gonna go get a beer, and he's like, I can't, I'm working, because I'm an obsessed cop, and that's how the writers wrote me, and I have no depth at all. And then his friend literally goes, well, let me find the exact line, because it was so weak. Oh, shoot. Now I'm not going to find it. Well, he basically was like, hey, you should get a girlfriend or something, because you seem lonely. And I'm like, what the F? How does this make any sense, people? This isn't related. And then through that is how he found a gang symbol that made them find the place to go to. Here's the thing, though. Okay, first of all,
I'm mad a little bit about the police ethics in this scenario, too. Are you going to go there?
Yeah. Well,
very mad about that.
But even before that, so that tape that Danny Glover was watching during that scene was from the scene with the girl Amanda, who was the only one who survived one of these thingies.
Yes.
And again, it was weird because they were like, Dr. Gordon, we just accused you of being the murderer. Cool. You might not be. Anyway, we're gonna show you this person that was in a trap. Just cause, you know, so here we go. And he was like, what the f-? And that was weird. But, like, so she got a tape. Nobody else got tape. Fine. You don't think there'd be, like, fingerprints? Or, like, other evidence? Like, she was in the warehouse and she got out. The door wasn't even locked. She could have walked out the door. And then the puppet's riding a little bike. Who rode the puppet? The puppet's not a person. Somebody pushed the puppet. I don't understand how she couldn't have been like, hey, police, I literally just came from this murder den right there. Here's all the fingerprints. Here's this puppet that clearly was touched, and somebody had to touch it with their fingerprints at some point, so maybe you should, like, dust for that. Nothing. No fingerprinting anywhere. No evidence bags. No backup. I don't want to hear it.
His direct quote was, the poor partner's name that got killed, but Danny Glover's like, I'm over following protocol. And the guy's like, oh, well, do we need a warrant? And he was like, who said anything about a warrant? And I'm like, this is how we got to the situation that we're in.
Who said anything about only bringing 2 of you? Why don't you guys bring, like, 100 of you? I don't understand.
I was like, where's your backup?
No backup. No fingerprinting.
No backup.
No evidence bags.
Just negligence.
They also brought a shotgun. Is that police protocol to bring a... Do they own shotgun? I don't think the police use shotguns like that.
It was
They
weird.
never handcuffed the guy. They literally had the guy. They never handcuff him. Ugh, I don't understand.
Well, and then the way the partner gets killed with, like, Kevin McAllister booby traps.
Yeah, messed up.
And I don't know why, but for some reason I thought, okay, these 2 police partners, they're gonna, like, be in this movie the whole time.
No.
And, like, we're gonna do our thing. And, like, he just gets, to your point, it's just, like, disappointment again. Like, wow, another person killed. And then Danny Glover gets his throat slashed, and you think, well, there goes Danny Glover. He's a good character. You're gonna get rid of him? I mean, my God, it's only taken you 18 days to shoot this film. Can't he hang out longer?
Nah, he was top billed. They had to have him in a little bit more of the movie.
Oh my God.
Again, that's the writing. Like, you could have approached it differently, where I would have believed a little more why only 2 cops were there. It just could have been done better, I think.
And it was a lot. And then Danny Glover just, as I write, why is the lawyer? Because everything I thought about Adam was a lawyer. But you're so right. It was so dramatic, that one room with Danny Glover, and, like, pictures were everywhere, and he was like, I'm gonna get you, you jerk, because he was convinced it was Dr. Gordon that did it, which I thought, but you found out it wasn't.
Yeah.
And then you, like, went to the warehouse and shot him, and, like, it still wasn't Dr. Gordon, and
very confusing.
And what I did like, what I kind of mentioned in the beginning was, okay, a tape's played. You get a clue.
Mm-hmm.
The clue is Dr. Gordon has to shoot Adam or else his wife and child dies.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, we have 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do this. And then he just so happens to talk about his wife, and there's a photograph, and the photograph has an X on it, which is a reach, but then, you know, we find the X in the wall, and then there's a box, and, like, I digged that. Like, there was very, like...
escape room.
I don't know why, I want to think of Goonies, too, where I was yeah, keep going! Like, it was very, like, you can do it, what's the next stage? And I feel like now knowing the end, with the murderer being in there the whole time, that makes it cooler, because the murderer was probably like, hee, 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 hee. Like, I don't know. Like, it was a movie for the murderer's point of view.
Yeah. Which also, so they do the X, they find a box. In the box is the cell phone.
Oh, how about that 2004 flip phone?
Yeah.
Motorola flip phone.
They find that. They find the... cigarettes. There were 2.
And something. And there was like...
And a note. Oh, there was a key, a cell phone, a cigarette. And I go, and a stupid note that doesn't really tell us anything relevant except that smoking is bad.
Well...
Because it was like, smoking can kill you. That's it. I'm like, what? Okay. I know that.
No! It was saying that you don't have to, you know... Oh, God, did I write down the note?
Well, he dips it in the blood, thinking there's poison in the blood, thinking that if he smokes the thing with the blood, it would kill him. Lot of leaping. I don't know.
Yeah, he was leaping.
Well, the best, though, was then he tries to do the the whole ruse where he's like... Okay, first of all, they shut the lights off to whisper. I don't know how that works.
Well, and I kept thinking, you found the two-way mirror. You know that the murderer is watching you, right? In theory. Yeah. Why can't he have volume? I mean, 2004, we heard volume in video.
I think he did have volume. I don't know. That confused me. I wasn't quite sure. But, like, whatever. So they're like, oh, you're going to pretend to die. And in my head, I thought, this is the worst plan. Adam's the worst actor. Have you been here the whole movie? Because this is going to... And what happens... He does the worst death ever, and then he gets electrocuted, and then it stops, and then Cary Elwes literally goes, stop acting. And I go, yes, Cary, I agree.
Maybe he was just mad he wasn't getting that profits from the movie.
Maybe.
Okay, but the electrocuting scene was cool, though.
The reason I brought that up, though, was because all the electrocution was apparently being done by... Jigsaw, who we then find out is the dead guy, and I was like, how are we doing that? How is that happening? Continuity error. I'm just saying.
But I dug it, because he had his hand under his body, and he didn't need to see them. He could hear them.
Yeah, I guess.
He could hear them. I dug it.
I guess.
I was really into this murderer's 3 steps ahead of you and electrocuted you somehow from the... I don't know, but it's super cool.
Well, and then after that is when Adam has a flashback to being like, oh, I magically remember what happened. And he remembers being abducted. And I did like that scene with the camera taking the photos to light it up. That was
very Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, but it was just good. It was just good cinematography.
That was good. And I was scared.
Yeah, so I don't know. But actually, and even before that, I think you find out about... They show how the wife and the daughter get kidnapped, which was also scary. But again...
That was the jumping.
So the daughter's like, Dad, there's a guy in my room.
I know.
He's like, oh, snap. All right, I'll check it out. But he doesn't check it out. He just puts her in bed.
He does not check it out.
He didn't check out anything. What are we doing?
This is why he stinks. He stinks.
And they get abducted. That was sad. I hated when the guy did the heartbeat thing. That actually, I think, was the scariest scene because it was like just so twisted and intimate, and I hated it.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all.
And also, when that scene was playing, Bear was laying in front of the TV and he started crying during the scene. He didn't like it. He really didn't.
Oh my god! Could he tell, like, a little kid was in trouble or something?
Maybe. Or, like, maybe it was another reason. I don't know. I'm gonna say it was that reason.
Oh my god, he's so cute. Okay, my one pushback. Oh man, all roads lead to Adam. Okay. Well, I'm gonna put myself in a kind of a secret agent photographer. And my job is to take pictures. I live in a crappy apartment. And I start to fall asleep randomly in my green room, whatever the hell you call that. And what do you call that?
A dark room.
Dark room. Thank
I
you.
was like, there is a color, something.
So he falls asleep in the dark room, wakes up, and he's like, "Whoa, what happened?" And then he realizes somebody's in the apartment, but he can't find them. And then your point, the lights are out, so he's taking pictures. This is why I believe from Silence of the Lambs, I have memorized in the dark how to get out of exits in my apartment. Because if somebody was in my apartment, I am running out. I am not trying to find the murderer.
Well,
I am saying, oh no, there's the door. I'm going to put everything in the way so you don't get me. And I'm running down the street. And I'm running, and I am running, and I am running. Yep. And I am not a fighter. I am a flighter.
Well, that's...
And I was mad at Adam. I was like,
yeah,
you could have gotten out, and you didn't. And why are you now in this scenario?
Well, because he clearly knew that someone was in there because he finds the puppet. Which, again, I'm like, fingerprints. Somebody's got the fingerprints. Nobody cares. So, yeah. I mean,
he could have worn gloves.
Whatever. I don't want to hear it. The flight would have worked a lot better because clearly the guy who we find out to be the guy named Zap. Is it Zap or Zep? I don't know if I care.
It was Zap.
Well,
here's my problem with that.
Tell me, because I hate it all.
I really hope you remember more of his backstory than me, because I thought Adam was a lawyer for half the movie. So
Zap
I was like, wait.
was not a lawyer.
Well, I know Zap worked at the hospital.
Yeah, he was an orderly.
Yeah. And I know that he was like, hey, Dr. Gordon, it's not patient A. His name is John. And I thought, well, Zap, that's nice of you. Which is why I think people alluded to think he was the murderer in all of the scenarios he was put in. What did Zap do wrong that he deserved to die?
Well, Bridget, that's a great question that nobody has an answer to because plot holes.
Wait, you don't know the backstory for him either?
He didn't have one. It was just like, hey, I'm going to poison you, and there's poison in your blood now. I'm like, what the? This is...
What? I thought that he did something wrong, and they gave a whole... I'm looking this up. Keep talking.
I don't think there was. But, like, I don't know, Zap was just annoying. And, okay, you're being made to do this, as we, I guess, find out, even though you could argue you might not be made to do this. Yet you torture the mom and the daughter with the heartbeat thing? Like, you're messed up, man. I mean, I don't want to hear the whole, oh no, somebody made me do it. No. No.
I agree.
Just nonsense.
Okay, I learned about Zap.
What is it? Is it stupid? I bet it is.
Oh, it's Zep.
Is it E? That's what I mean.
Zep formed a bond with the patient, aka the murderer.
Right.
But he talked, this is so dumb, he talks about the doctors behind their backs, saying they were having affairs, and calling Dr. Lawrence a cold-hearted...
Okay. So Zap deserves to... What?
Because he's wasting his life with his dreams of becoming a doctor by not doing anything.
You know,
This is a very judgy murderer.
Seriously, he's the worst. Because you know what? I could judge him. You want to go down? You want to talk about judging?
Take him down.
I don't want to hear
What do you know about Jigsaw?
Well, because you find out in later movies, because again, picture prompts, that he had a wife and they were going to have a baby, but then the wife lost the baby and it was because of someone else. And then he goes on a murder spree. No.
Oh, gosh.
That's not how we process grief. You go to therapy. All right? Because if I heard that you were being a murderer and I put you in a murder trap, no, I don't want to hear it.
I hope you talk to people. First of all, you said that like you were talking to a dog. You're like, no, that's not how we process that. I hope that you talk to people that way about anything. Excuse me, no.
Depends on the person.
Sit, lay down, roll over. There was a lot. And then I will say the whole Dr. Gordon scene where he, the phone he can only receive calls.
Yeah.
He can't call out. And he hears his wife, who, she had a gun.
She did.
She could have killed him.
She could have.
And what happened? She was every other weak woman in all these movies. And she was like, ah! And then somehow, She gets away, great, but also you could have killed him.
Do not be nice to people who kidnap you at all. You do not be nice to those people. So stop that.
And I just feel like I was annoyed by that. But then once he heard that, he just kept hearing screaming and he was like, oh my God, they're dead. They're dead. They're dead. They're dead. They're dead. And so I have to go protect my family. Now I'm going to saw off my foot. Ugh. And he just lost it. Yes. And Adam was like, whoa, that's my job. What are you doing? I am supposed to be the crazy one. Right. You're supposed to be the calm one. And then they like flipped roles. And Adam was like, oh, you're just cutting off your foot. Okay. All right.
That whole ending was wild because, again, it starts with that phone call and then, you know, the wife kind of fights back and then Danny Glover like busts in.
Oh, I was cheering for him.
He's also kind of useless because you're like, oh, he's a cop. Like, great. We're in the clear. Nope. Zap gets in a car and then we're in a weird high-speed car chase that nobody asked for.
I know. Which, with really fast filming.
Yeah, there was a lot of that in this movie.
Do you remember? And I was like, wait, what? It's like TikTok videos. No. Like, it was like sped up. Like, what? This is like Instagram fast mode. What's happening?
I don't like it. But then they're like running through 500 different alleyways. I'm so over it. There's not this many empty warehouses. And if there are and there's murders happening, we investigate, okay?
What city are we in? We don't even know.
Who cares? I don't know. It was a lot happening and he saws his foot off, which was so foul. And then he's like, I'm gonna shoot you because I gotta shoot you. And Adam's like, no, don't shoot me. And then he shoots him. And I was like, woo!
Were you happy he did that?
No, I wasn't.
Man, you really did not like Adam.
No, I mean, nobody should get shot unless they deserve it. Adam didn't deserve to get shot. But I also, in my head, was like, wait, but Cary, like, you ran out of time. I don't know why you think...
I thought that, too.
Like, it's gonna work now. Also, I really doubt that you could saw your foot off in less than a minute. Because it was less than a minute. It was like 30 seconds. I was like, Jesus, people! I mean, I know we're speeding up the footage, but my God. That's not how life works, I don't think.
How would you not pass out?
That's what I mean. It's wild.
I would pass out. I would do like 1, 2, 3 saws and just be passed out.
Yeah, I would not be able to.
I'd be like, well, that's the end of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Adam, man, he's like, don't shoot! I was like, no! I just thought, like, the time is over. Your wife and kids are actually okay. This is very stressful. I'm stressed out. I'm stressed.
Yeah.
And then we can't call him Zap. He's Zep.
Okay, but I like Zap because there was electrocution. So, okay.
Zep, who we think is the true murderer, bomb rushes into the weird public bathroom space. Yeah. And everyone's like, da-da-na-na, the murderer's in. Oh my God. And then I think, Dr. Gordon's thinking like, okay, I shot him. And then he goes to basically like kill Dr. Gordon. Yeah. And Adam.
Yeah, man. He had a little redemption at the end.
Comes out of nowhere. Yep. And takes some cinder block?
No, it was the toilet bowl cover.
Okay.
It's like, why didn't we use that to get out? Anyway, it's fine. I'm over it.
I know the change. There's a lot of things.
Over it.
But that was a cool, like, you thought Adam was dead.
Yeah.
And then he, like, actually saved Dr. Gordon, which, again, with this murderer's moral compass, why couldn't Adam live?
Yeah. Great question. I don't know. Well, and then Cary's like, I'll save you. I'm like, Cary, honey, you gotta lay down.
Dude, that face makeup.
I mean, it got more, it turned into like...
It was like
Gothic
1800s.
Opera. Yeah.
It was pretty intense.
He went from like 2000 stage makeup to like the...
It was like in middle school when mom's like, do you want to try makeup? And then I would put like 18 coats of powder on. And I was like, is this makeup? And she was like, oh no.
She's like, don't do that. You look like Cary Elwes.
You look like Cary Elwes from Saw.
Yeah. Then you find out that Zap was not the murderer because Adam finds the tape.
That was cool.
And then as he's listening to it and he's like horrified, which was the only good acting he did in the whole movie, was that last scene where he just looks afraid. And then Jigsaw gets up. I'm telling you.
I was into it. I was like, okay. Worth it.
It's just a very well, it was filmed really well, and like you said, there wasn't like a lot of talking, and it was in the background. It wasn't even like the camera was focused on the body as it gets up. It was focused on Adam, and then in the background you see it getting up, and then he slowly sees it, and then he finds out like, oh snap, like now I'm dead.
Ugh.
And then do you remember how the credits started?
No.
Well, Jigsaw goes like, game over, and then he closes the door, and Adam is screaming, and the credits, the start to it was literally just like him screaming over the credits. And I was like, ooh, that was good. Good job. That was good. Yeah.
I was so freaked out at the end. I was just like, there's Adam. He just took pictures. He was just trying to make money.
What did he do?
What did Adam do?
Yeah.
Katie, how do you like scary movies? These are so horrifying.
I don't know.
Why do you like scary movies?
Okay, but like this scary movie, I'm not.
Okay,
I don't watch this one on the regular. I don't think I've seen this in like 10 years. I mean, it's been a while. And like I said, all I really remembered were the scenes with the pig head, because I was like, ah.
Ugh.
Which, by the way, I didn't say it before, but that was another scene that I actually liked, was when Cary Elwes was in the parking garage. I don't know what the heck he was doing. I think he was trying to call for someone to let him out.
Super creepy.
But they showed the guy, and it wasn't like a straight on. It was like you saw him through the overhead mirror.
Yes.
So that was cool. I liked that.
It was very Ring. It was very Ring. Because
wait, when did
he didn't come out of the car like...
Yeah. He was crawling.
When did the Ring come out?
When did this movie come out?
2004.
So the Ring was before that.
Oh.
So maybe they got some inspa.
The Ring was 2002?
Yeah, maybe they got some inspiration. Which, this is like the 8th time we've referenced The Ring, by the way, so something's happening and I don't like it. It's everywhere.
I'm not watching that.
But
oh my god, no.
Okay, so what I thought was the funniest part, you said your Bob part was...
The female detective.
Oh, yeah, that was your Bob part.
Look, front row seat to it. He likes a front row seat to his murders, and I was like, why aren't you making emotions with your face? It was, and she said so many other lines, I just started laughing. I was like, why can't you make feelings with your face? Okay, sorry, what?
My Bob moment, or moments, was they used, which this attests to the low budget, they used the same exact shot of Cary Elwes walking into the parking garage 3 times. It was not even edited to look like it was different. It was the same exact shot from the same angle. They literally cut, copy, pasted 3 times. And Bob was like, it's fine, guys. Like, we don't need perspective. Nobody cares.
Oh my God.
That was my Bob scene.
That's literally how I make my work PowerPoints. Copy, paste.
I laughed so hard. I was like, oh my God. I cannot think of any other movie where I have seen the same scene. Well, actually, now that I say that, I can. But that was intentional. This, I don't think was intentional. This was them being lazy and trying to save money.
You see such different things than me. Like, I was so stressed out at, like, people surviving. I couldn't care less about that. I mean, I noticed it now that you said it, but, like, it didn't even bother me because I was just so stressed out I was just gonna die.
Well, maybe that was Bob's plan, so I guess it worked.
Oh, Bob. He's like, the one person that won't watch our movie will not notice. And then he, like, pulls up my voice account. And he's like, see? 16 years later, I got her.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God.
I mean, I don't think... This isn't a movie I'd probably watch again.
I would not either. I'm glad I saw it, though.
If I were to watch it, I would want to watch it physically with someone who hasn't seen it, because the end is a good twist. But that's the only reason I really don't think I would. You'd
have to go back to back to back. I think it'd be cool watching all of them and having just like a Saw fest.
They're so terrible. No.
But not one and done. I think you have to make it like a thing and then see how it changed. And I haven't even seen all of them, but I can imagine that that's just like a fun thing to do. Like the Scary Mighty Ducks, if you will.
There ain't no quacking in this movie. So.
Okay, wait. What did Dad say?
Alright. Here comes
the day. Okay.
That's a great reference. Oh, that movie's on the list. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Okay, I'm going to play it now.
All right, Dad. Our movie this week is Saw.
So.
No, Saw.
Oh, Saw. So, Katie, you want to play a game?
I don't.
What is more important to you? Bear or your left arm? Let's play.
Okay, that's really scary. I hate that.
He's such a weirdo!
It's so ridiculous. I love how he specified which side. Like, I don't... like, that's specific. I mean...
I love that he was like, so, and you're like, no, Saw. It's like, yeah, I know.
You just gotta double check, because you know, we don't want to waste the film.
Oh my God, Katie, I'm just gonna tell you right now, if any jigsaw murderer tries to put you in a scenario that you have to choose between your left arm and Bear, I'm gonna use my ESP Spidey sense and find you and kill that motherfucker.
You would use
Because no way.
fingerprints, backup.
Danny Glover would not be invited.
No, evidence
as a police
bags.
officer.
Just, you know, normal human thought process. Yeah. Cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, we should also say that is this our 9th episode?
This is our 10th.
10th!
Double dig. Double dig.
I feel like since we have launched the first one and our family is ridiculous,
Yeah.
They're like, oh, people are listening? Oh, I'm gonna try. Oh, okay. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. It's like, you know, we've been doing this for 10 hours! And now you care? I mean, I feel like the first 4 movies, he was like, I don't know that movie. I mean, you had to just keep trying for him to eventually be like, okay, I know that movie.
Well, I think also
God.
with the peer pressure of I'm going to actually record you.
Smart.
So that's like, you know, sometimes you need a little kick in the bum, right? So get that stuff going. But we finished up Saw, thank God. We escaped alive. We got sweaty, but we made it.
You know what? I don't like escape rooms either. It all makes sense.
I like escape rooms, just not these type.
I don't.
Oh.
I'm of no help at all.
Well, they're confusing. But we gotta pick our next movie. So obviously you picked Saw, not for yourself, because you don't like scary
terrible.
movies.
I lost 18 pounds. Okay.
So I'm picking a movie that I know you love, and it's a movie that I love. And I think I might be making this up, but I'm 85% sure we actually saw this movie as a Broadway musical rendition. And because we went through horrific tragedies, we need a little Jesus in our life. So we are going back to, oh Jesus, I don't know the year.
Oh, I think it's one thing, but maybe it's not what I think it is.
Okay, I was right. We're going back to 1992.
Woo!
To, I guess, it's a comedy, but I think it's also kind of a musical, because again, it was made into a Broadway musical. We're gonna watch Sister Act.
Not at all what I thought. I thought we were gonna watch Matilda.
I love Matilda, but no.
Katie?
I forgot we saw Matilda. Did we see that on Broadway? Did I make that up? I felt like you were there.
No, we saw Sister Act. I'm pretty sure.
It was you, me, and Mom, and we just laughed the whole time.
I feel like Liz was there.
Okay.
And it was for my birthday.
Maybe.
And I remember lots of hilarious things about that day.
Yep.
And Katie, the other day, I just started singing that to Mose.
Sister?
I was like, if you want to be somebody
That's
and you
Sister
want to
Act
go
2.
somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention.
Was he like, why is this happening?
I deadpanned him, and he just stared at me like, what? Like, he was like asking what we should have for dinner, and I just like started singing it. Katie, yes! Whoopee! Oh my god!
Whoopee!
We're gonna sing, we're gonna dance.
There's gonna be hand motions.
Katie.
Ave Maria. Ave Maria. Her claps are not synced up. There. That's just the whole episode will just be a singing rendition. That would be really hard to do, but that would be so funny. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh, Saul was scary. I want Sister Act all day, baby.
The Lord in Reno.
Oh my god. I can't wait to watch that now with like what is that like now?
I'm excited. I haven't seen it in a while.
Wow. What a great selection.
Woo! Well, Bridget, I mean, you kind of said it before, but if you were trapped in a room with your foot chained to a pipe, I would help out, I guess. Was the point of where I was trying to go with that. Because I love you.
I love you too. And yeah, if anyone even tried to make a recording about you, I would just whip that out of their hand. I'd be like, no siree, pick another woman. Just check under your bed, in your closet.
Gotta go.
Okay, I love your guts.
All right, see you next week, listeners.
See you next week, listeners, for Sister Act. And we are sisters. And this is our act.
Yep, it's gonna be better than Adam's. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who've Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Stitcher, among other podcasting websites. Or listen on our website at sisterswhoseenit.buzzsprout.com. Also, follow us on Twitter at sisterswhoseen and on Instagram at sisterswhoseenit, all spaced with underscores. See you next week.